welcome to Smorgasbord, the podcast about anything and everything that I want to talk about. And today we have an impulsive third episode. And it's impulsive because I'm filming this before the first one. That's how impulsive it is. It is awesome. We work like that. We are so well organized and constructed here at the Awesome Pig household. Or should I say Smorgasbord household? Just a little joke. So we got a couple of breaking news headlines, and then we're going to get into some stuff that I want to talk about in the first episode, but obviously it's going to be so convoluted that, or it was so convoluted that I couldn't really fit it in, and it didn't really match the tone of the episode, so. And sure, these ones might not fit the same, but we roll. We ball, as we say. As they say down in the court, we ball. We ball. And if the audio sounds bad, shut up. I'm trying my best. So, I woke up today tired. Didn't really dream of anything too specific. I think I dreamed of something. I was going to tell my best friend about it because they were in my dream, but forgot a majority of the context, so it would just sound weird and shoddy, so that's fun. But they had informed me that, breaking news, a Ukrainian woman was stabbed a lot on a subway train by a criminal with a record. A fucking record. It was crazy. It was insane to actually see someone get stabbed. Like, I've seen it. I've seen stabbings in movies. I'm a big horror fanatic. I'm even trying to be the face of Halloween. But, like, to see an actual stabbing, like an actual one, I just had to sit there and just, like, mouth agape. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And there are videos that, like, feel like I was watching Live Leak or something. It was fucking crazy. And I'm sure, like, you know, saying that it's just, a woman getting stabbed? That's pretty crazy. That's, like, I don't have words. I really don't have words to describe the amount of anguish and despair and condolences I have for her family and stuff. Because, like, she did nothing wrong. She just sat there. She fucking sat on the subway. Probably going to her job, going to a hobby, going to the other side of town, somewhere else, and some guy just decided to fucking stab her for no reason. It's good that he's detained, and if Mr. Tan is a man of his word, that criminal is going to get the death penalty. And I'll say this: I would rather people just suffer the consequences and live until their body gives out, until their natural, you know, day that the Grim Reaper comes. But I think if you have such a criminal record as I'm gonna get this right. Carlos Brown Jr. is the guy who stabbed her, and his criminal record is whoa. That's insane. And the fact that he was just left off the hook a couple times. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, someone with that kind of record deserves death penalty, I think. I think they are eligible. I would say people with that record, or like a record that is huge and they keep being left off the hook and they keep being set out and they never change and they don't seek like refuge, they don't seek redemption. They don't try to better themselves. Why should they be continued living if they're just gonna stay? It's like the argument that is given to Batman. Like, why would you let the Joker live if he's just gonna break out again, cause more chaos, kill more people, fucking set the city of chaos, maybe even spread to the entire world? You know, why not kill him? Because like killing is wrong. To take someone's life is a lot. Sure, like in our heads, like we think like, just fucking kill him, just get him. But really, it's like, it's a lot more complicated than that. It's like a lot more. It's immature to just like call death to someone. Sure, it's like if they're fictional, then like yes, gallows, death by guillotine, kind of thing. That's pretty normal. I have those thoughts a lot too, but it's best to like just keep them in the head, but just to really act them out. It's like it's only the ones deserving of that should get that, and he is definitely a contender for that, and I would say good riddance for that. That is awful. That is really fucking awful. So that was fun to wake up to. So I continue my day, and then I find out Charlie Kirk got shot. He got fucking hit in the neck. And another video I saw that made me feel like I was watching Live Leak was up close, in personal. Whoosh. Again, just sat there, mouth agape. Could not believe what I was watching. Could not believe that I actually saw that. I actually witnessed that. I actually witnessed someone getting stabbed and shot in the same day. Sure, they weren't like right in front of me, but technically they were. And it wasn't fake, it wasn't fictional, it was real. And it was scary. It was fucking scary. I want you to know this. I am more left leaning. I'm in the middle. I'd rather see like both sides. To an extent, if you're going far right, I would say don't listen to that. Don't. But there are some points that the right makes that I actually agree with. Mr. Tan calling for the death penalty. I agree with that. I agree with that. But again, like the far right side in power, electing that you can just arrest black people without cause. Yeah, that's a real thing that's going on. So can't say that I agree with most, even though I just listed 2 examples. Just can't agree with most. Charlie Kirk, I fucking hated that guy. I absolutely despised him with every ounce of my being because a lot of things that he said was wrong. That fucking smile on his face, just like the fact that you're discriminating against women and their choices is not cool. It's not a great thing to just parade that around and act like you're a fucking hero when you're saying that a woman should not have the choice to do what she can with her own body. That's terrible on all fronts. I support abortion. I support it because, well, one, who am I to say I can't make a fucking baby? Who am I to say that a woman should not have the choice? And sure, when the fetus is forming and it's almost out and people will choose, like, how about the abortion now? There's some cause for concern, a bit of like questioning is fall there. But how about this? Miscarriage. Miscarriages happen. And you have to fucking cut that dead fetus or whatever is a part of... Let me fact check this right. But, like, miscarriages happen. And it's fucking awful to, like, build this hope that, like, oh, there's a baby's coming. My son, daughter... they're coming, and it's fucking wonderful. We're going to be a family, and then you get hit with that news. But I know people who went through it, and it's awful. It's really awful. And I've seen one who wanted a baby and couldn't because of a miscarriage, and one who was raped and had a miscarriage. And it's so bad that they can't really have children, and it's fucking... it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. I'm not too educated on it. And I don't want to parade myself as like, a know-it-all in this. But that's where like abortion kind of helps from what I understand. It helps to relieve that pain, helps to heal the mothers, because a miscarriage could possibly lead to death, and it's awful. And even like pregnancies, regular pregnancies, like, can lead to death. But also abortion is useful for those who were raped, those who are not ready to be mothers, and those who maybe change their mind midway through, and it's their decision. An abortion is not just something you can just do on a whim. The classic conservative comedy is that I'm gonna have my 4th abortion this week. Okay, so I know that comedy is supposed to be like subversive. It's supposed to subvert your expectations. It's supposed to be all over the place, unrealistic sometimes. Where the fuck is the logic in that? My 4th abortion this week. Whoops. Like, I never got that. Fucking that JP guy or whatever, like, was doing that and was, like, wearing a blue wig and was like, I'm gonna have my fucking 4th abortion. And it's like, one, not funny. Where's the joke? The joke is that you're having your 4th baby this week and you're gonna say, no thanks, for the 4th time this week. Classic mother behavior. But also, abortions are painful. I don't know if you know this. You're harvesting something. It's fucking awful. It's either you give birth to a baby and you have to have that much responsibility, whether or not you want it or not, or you suffer similar pain, but you don't have to worry about that responsibility. And when the time comes where you are fully prepared to have a baby, you are well off and you can actually, support that, then honestly, it really doesn't fucking matter what stage. What matters is the opinion of the mother. What matters is the opinion of the parents of what's soon to be that fetus. And to say that it's an actual person, to say that it's a person is wrong. Because when I was a fetus, I could not tell you what I was seeing, what I was hearing, anything that happened. I didn't even think my ears fucking formed yet. I was a fucking bulging head or something. Like, I looked in the ultrasound. Oh, yes, my time in the ultrasound. Oh, how could I forget? Oh, it was red, black, some leftover pizza in there or something. I don't know what happens in my mom's stomach. I don't know. Like, I can't fucking tell you because I don't really live through that. People don't live through that. There's not an actual person there. There's an organism building, but you have the choice to stop it from actually existing. Because I think once it comes out, that's when it exists. That's when it actually exists. And again, I'm not educated, but I just don't understand what the fuss is with that. I don't think abortions are cheap. I don't think they are. It's like, what the fuck? And calling sensitive women who were rape victims that don't want to be mothers because they're fucking in their teen years, calling them murderers for a being that doesn't even fucking exist yet, for a human being that doesn't fucking exist yet. Who are you to say? Who are you to say? And I'll tell you, that same person will look at someone who is on the LGBTQ part of the world as if it's like a country. Yes, I'm from the lesbian islands. I was there with Diana Prince. Not to be confused with Princess Diana. What is Wonder Woman's last name? Can we see if he knows comic book lore? Does he know comic book lore? Yeah. I know what what I'm talking about. Yes, I was on the lesbian islands with Diana Prince. We had tons of adventures and stuff. And then, like, we took one vacation to Homosexualville, and it was fucking sick. The Village people were in concert, and then they went to a Trump rally. It's so weird to see the Village people at a Trump rally, you know? Because I don't think that's the kind of community they stood for. But hey, a paycheck's a paycheck. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on abortion. Charlie Kirk, again, taking my jaw off the floor from, seeing that. I got to hear 3 sides of the reactions. And one is my heart. Oh, he was the greatest man. Oh, I love the way he owned those women. I love the way he told them that their body was his choice. Oh, I love the way he fucking said all that dumb shit and then try to look smarter against a lot of people who couldn't really debate well because they weren't experienced and would cower in fear at the thought of someone like Hassan Piker or all of them trying to combat him. Oh, he was a brave soldier. He didn't deserve to get dead like that. Get dead like that. Get dead like that. The new trend. Hip with the kids. Then I saw the other side, which was, yes! 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 Let's fucking go! Yeah! There's that. And I saw the middle, which was, hey, he shouldn't have died. Hey, maybe he shouldn't have died, and maybe we should have, proper gun control. And I gotta say that, I fall into the middle. I know. Like I said, I hate that man. With all of my being, I fucking despise that guy. There was, I had this one friend who would send just this, sticker of him with his exposed gums, and I would tell him, hey, I don't fucking like looking at him. Please. Because, he's a disgusting looking man. His views are disgusting as well. His views on trans people, his views on abortion is fucking deplorable. And the fact that he is parading around college campuses being like, I'm smarter than you. I think I won the debate. I think I am the smartest against all you college students. I never went to college, but you know what? I am actually smarter than you. And richer. Thank you for my paycheck. Yeah, so to say that, well, I didn't want him to die. My preferred, at one point, I was in the right mind. I was in the far right mind, and I say far right for a second. I'm going to get into. Can I fucking speak? For a thing I'm going to get into. Yeah, death to the people who cause the most harm in the community, and I was talking to one of my friends about it, and they were like, hey, that's bad. And the thing about me is that I don't know something's bad until someone points it out a lot of the time. And I hate that I was born with that. I hate that I have to live with that. And I'm trying to do better, but it's good that I have friends who will acknowledge that I'm making a mistake and I want to correct myself. And if I really want to practice what I preach, I say that I don't call for any violence of anybody. The things that I do call for are the bane of their existence. And for people like Charlie Kirk, I would say humiliation. I prefer him to be booed off stage. I prefer him to go up against someone who can debate, who actually knows what they're talking about, can actually combat his bullshittery. And I would want his side to be like, you're not invited to our party, buddy. Sorry, you're not cool for us anymore. I prefer that, because then they get to live with the shame. And I know people like that don't change. I know that people on the far right will never change. I know that certain people in my life will never change. I know my abuser will never change. I understand that. Even if they parade that, like, oh, they're great people and they have good Christian values, even though they don't really read the Bible. I know they won't change. But to cause death upon them, in death, nothing really changes. When they're dead, there's no room for change. There's no room for one day possibly them waking up and realizing, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. They'll never learn empathy. I know they'll never learn empathy, but there's always the chance that they will. And it would be better if they get to suffer while they're alive. It's better that. And not like, they're getting like tortured or wherever, fucking medieval torture device or whatever. Not like that. No, it's more of like an internal thing. It's an internal suffering. The ones that like their victims have to suffer with the fact that they exist. And I'd rather them live with the consequences and live with the guilt of what they have done. I'd rather live with the fact that, oh, nobody actually likes me. Or like know that, oh, I'm doing something harmful. I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm a bad person. I would rather them live with that than for them to die with a big smile on their face, knowing that, well, I was killed for what I believe in. I love the world kind of thing. Because then that also feeds into that fucking ideology too. It feeds into all ideologies on all sides. On all sides. Violence doesn't really solve anything. Sure, it can be justice. Sure, it can be anything. But like, if the person's not alive to suffer, the only people that win are the people that wish death upon inherently, because like, oh, that wipes them off the map. And I hope I'm making sense with this, because I feel like I'm not. And if I am, awesome, fucking great. But I hope you get what I'm trying to say. It's that it doesn't really solve. And people in power will become corrupt. And like, if you give a man a gun, he'll kill someone. And that same man will one day probably go on a killing spree. We're going to play a video here that goes into another thing of why I wish that he was just humiliated instead of killed. What do you mean it has no fucking sound? Is it getting censored? Is it getting fucking censored? Oh, it's probably just my fucking MacBook. But anyway, so Instagrammer Montemator made an excellent video about how World War I started because Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, which created a domino effect. And it scared me because that is a possibility of what's going to happen as a result of Charlie getting murdered. And with the far right blaming the left and wanting to fucking get rid of us, pretty much, it's like, holy fucking shit. Like, we don't know who the shooter is. And for that fucking staged assassination attempt on Mr. Tan's life, the shooter was a Republican. Both shooters were Republican. The one who nicked him in the ear, that he probably got surgery for, or something like that, and the one who nearly attempted his life on the golf course. And those are probably fucking stunts just to get him elected. And they did. It worked. Great. It fucking worked. And it's scary. It's scary to think about. And with Mr. Tan changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War is really scary. I really hope that we don't go to war. I really fucking hope that there isn't a massive draft. And I'm saying this because, like, one, it's not needed. Why would this happen? Why do we need to have another war? There's no fucking need. And three, the selfish reason, I would not do well. My dad's been trying to get me in the Air Force because, like, it's the one suited for me because there's no water involvement because I can't swim because the left side of my body just loves to fatigue. And my ADHD makes me fatigue all over. So that's why I can't really play instruments. And that's why I don't do well in swimming, because my body just decides, hey, we like to stand. We like to stand tall and proud. We don't want to do that swimming shit. And it's awful. It's awful. I've witnessed it. I was like, doing the movements and stuff. And I just felt my body just fucking doing that. One day I'll have it recorded. I'll have like floaties on and stuff. Even when I'm doing nighttime swimming with the people I trust the most and I'm most comfortable about with my floaties on, my body actively does that. I thought it was just like, because it's in the sun, it's public. No, it's because no matter what, I just don't do well in water. And I feel like I'm allergic to water. I'm allergic to sun. I am the anti-Superman. I am Bizarro. It's wonderful. But also, Inner talked about Melissa Hortman, a woman I didn't really know about too much because I don't remember coverage about her. She was killed in her own home. It was a political killing, and there was not much coverage about it. And it's awful that I'm hearing about it now. And it sucks that we're hearing about the woman on the subway now. And it's like, why are we keeping this under wraps and under why? I wish that we as a nation were on the same side. Sure, we may have beliefs different beliefs, but we should all want people to live free. This is the land of the free, not the fucking land of white people are free and everyone else pick up our scraps kind of. That is not our country. Sure, it may have started like that, but because the world was such in fucking shambles of racism, bigotry, and all that fucking shit, that progressivism was helping it become better. And the fact that there are people actively out there that are so fucking delusional that they believe that there should only be one race that triumphs overall instead of all of us fucking, holding each other up and, being there and supporting the neighbor and doing what the Bible says. A lot of this conservative Christianity kept me away from wanting to actually dive into the Bible, because I believe there's actual, good messages in that. Jesus, biblically accurate Jesus, is a very wonderful person, and he would have never voted conservative if he was alive today. If he was alive today, and he was American, he would have never voted conservative. And, he would have seen the bombings in Gaza and would have been like, hey, what the fuck? Absolutely what the fuck? And also that's where Bethlehem and that's where they are. That's where it is. And it's awful. It's fucking awful that there's such a divide. And also, Charlie wasn't the only shooting today. There was a high school in Evergreen, Colorado that was shot. It's Evergreen High School. I don't know if Evergreen is a thing. Evergreen is a city or whatever. But it was attacked by a school shooter. And what everyone should have got out of this, everyone in power should have got out of this, is, hey, maybe gun control is good. Maybe the Democrats were fucking onto something with gun control. Maybe all it took is one of our guys who were pro-gun, anti-gun control. I will say this. It is ironic that Mr. Kirk, not to be confused with Captain Kirk, was fucking killed by his own ideology. His own thing killed him. Him wanting more guns. Everyone should have the Second Amendment in their homes. And it's the fact that he was killed by a gun. If it was a knife, it would be really different. Different story. But the fact that it was a gun was very, very ironic. Should it have happened? No. It should not have happened. I'm gonna keep saying that just fucking brushed the mic there. Whoops. Love that sound. Just murdered your ears for a second. Sorry. Yeah, the other video that I wanted to play was from... I am sorry to mispronounce your name. I love your work. I think you're a really funny guy. Cinder Pecanos. Senora Pecanos. Senora Pecanos. My favorite name. I'm saying what I'm saying right now. That, like, hey, we should probably have gun control. We should have gun control so this would not fucking happen. He shouldn't have been killed. He should not have been killed. And I am afraid that it's going to create a nasty, nasty domino effect. And my heart goes out to his family because his kids don't deserve hate for what their fucker dad did and has done. And I don't know much about Charlie's wife. I don't know her story. I don't know anything unless she's like as terrible as a person. Then hey, there's room for criticism there. But the children, hey, leave them alone. If they have bigotry in their hearts because they got it from their parents and it's like into their fucking genes or whatever, then like criticism should follow for them. But they should be taught that, hey, equal rights is good. Women should have the right to do what the fuck they want to their bodies. And it's strange that it's a wild concept that a woman should have free will. Honestly, I hope there's no more political killings. I really hope that there is no domino effect. I really hope that this country doesn't go to war. I really hope that there's a change in leadership. This is a progressive country. We need progressive leaders. It's a dream. Martin had one, and so do I.
Oh my God, you are the next Martin Luther King.
That's what I have to say, mainly on the whole thing. And I'd say for the next however long the podcast remains, I'd say let's delve into some lighter things, because there are other things that I want to talk about that I want to talk about. So speaking of dreams, I had a dream regarding a chainsaw. So let me set the scene. I don't remember much context, but what I remember is the climax of the dream. So I got a snap on my phone from one of my friends, and I'll call them Melanie. So I got a snap from Melanie's phone, and I was like, oh, Melanie want to snap me? Oh, that's great. So I opened up Melanie's snap, and it's some random guy with a threat. And I'm like, oh, it's probably her boyfriend or something, because, dreams have weird reality, so you just gotta go with the flow, gotta believe it. There's one dream I realized, oh, I'm dreaming, I just flew, and then the dream was like, you fucking caught us. Wake up! Wait! Fuck! Go away! Wake up! What the fuck? That's sometimes that happens. Dreams with me are weird and funny. But this one, so we get the snap. Don't really think anything of it. I'm like, okay, another fucking protective boyfriend. Overprotective boyfriend. Fuck. It's like, oh, what's wrong? Your girlfriend has a guy friend? Fuck. No. Oh, the horror. It doesn't matter if he's gay. It's just because he's a guy. Fuck. Yeah, so I just put my phone down. Didn't think anything of it. But then I heard a weird noise coming from the other room. I heard a woman scream and what sounded like a chainsaw. Revving up. Let me toward the mic. If this is sounding terrible, I'm sorry. So, I run to the room, wondering, what the fuck is the matter? And it's the guy from the snap. It's the guy saying over Melanie. And he has a fucking chainsaw, and it's going into her fucking thigh. It's just like a fucking horror movie. It's like, oh my fucking God, it was so drastic. And the thing was, whenever there's conflict or something that requires action, I just stand still. I'm petrified. I'm weak like that. And it sucks. I would want to do better. And the thing is, I act. In this dream, I do what I never thought was possible of me. I acted. I fucking pushed him over so the chainsaw would get out of her thigh. And the thing is, it nicked me right in the side of the face. Right here, in the fucking left side of my face. It nicked me, and it felt like it was pulling at my skin. And it left like a fucking nasty scar from what I believe, from how it felt. And it fucking he clattered the ground. And I just remember him looking back up at me, and I look at Melody, who's fucking terrified of this. And I wake up. And the thing about dreams is you feel it. You feel it. And that was fucking crazy. That's what I believe a chainsaw feels like to the face. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what that means. Like, I've had dreams before where it kind of foreshadowed my life. Dreams are crazy like that. I got one recently that had made me very hopeful that it was going to be one of those foreshadowing dreams, and it was a friend that I lost recently that texted me saying like, hey, working things out, I'll be in touch soon. And the dream ends with us having a phone call, and it was wonderful. And I woke up hoping it was real, and it wasn't. But I do hope that it comes true. It just hasn't come true yet. And I know that the realistic part of me is like, it's over, it's done. But there's also that other part of me that's like, it might come just when I least expect it. And do I hope it's soon? Yeah. It's my birthday wish. But if not, then the time that was spent was wonderful, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And it set a good, powerful precedent in my life, and I would never trade it for the world. Oh, maybe I should talk some more about dreams. So, I have lasting nightmares that like sustain in my head. That flying thing I was talking about, that I alluded to. Yeah, it was a nightmare. I was getting chased by, zombies or whatever. And I was like, oh wait, I can fly. I have creative mode on. Wait, no, I can V-clip. You play Gmod? Yeah, I can V-clip. And then my dream's like, get out! Get out! Leave! You know that Michael C. Hall clip? Let me get it.
You're a famous Russian choreographer for the Bolshoi Ballet, and you've been asked to be a guest choreographer at the New York City Ballet. And you've been there 2 weeks, and there's one woman dancer who has pissed you off from the beginning. There's just some button that she presses that every time you look at her, anything she does, you're critical and feel she's the biggest shit in the world until finally you decide to humiliate her in front of the company. That's great. That's great. Fact! That's fact! Cow! Entitled American Bitch. Leave!
Leave! Entitled American Bitch. I love him. I need him. I need him and Brian together. On top of me? Yes. That's what dreams are like when they realize, oh, fuck. The reality we set. Fuck. Here's that one. Well, my youngest is I was living at my old house. I was like 3 or 4, and I had a nightmare, and it the visual is like old 2000s camera recording of a toddler walking up or down the stairs, and then whoopsie, falls. And it's like in those the guard railings that like that you could stick your face through. Yeah, you're small enough that you just fall right through. And I hit the ground, wake up. Wake up! If you're asleep right now, wake up! Wake up! Oh, we wake up! Oh, we wake up! Bossa Nova! You know? Another dream. First grade. I was walking in the woods. I heard a chatter in the far-off woods. I was walking, and the noise started getting louder and louder until I reached a bush. I peered in through. My teachers of my elementary school standing in a circle. There was one person standing in the middle, talking to them. That person was none other than Lord Voldemort. Lord Voldemort. And then I changed perspectives and I'm seeing myself. I am prisoner of Azkaban Harry. Reason? No reason. I just am. But then I make a sound. They all turn to me. My perspective is back to me. And their eyes are white. Herobrine-ass eyes. And I wake up. I don't know what that means. I think I do know, actually. I think I do. I'm lying. I'm lying to all of you. I do know. I know what my dream means. I know what my dream was. I drank your milkshake. This Mountain Dew in this ghost cup. Again, lied to your face, to your ears. You can't trust a word I say, can you? This world is cruel and unfair. But just like Elvis says, don't be cruel to a heart that's true, you know?
So, I know what the dream means. Huh? I know. Pee-wee knows.
Well, Pee-wee, what do you think it means?
I think it means that you thought the principal was a dictator.
I thought that my principal was as bad as Lord Voldemort.
Yes, I thought so. I thought you did. That's what I take away from your dream.
Why, thank you, Pee-wee. Thank you for stopping here beyond the grave. Thank you. How much do I owe you?
You got any walnuts?
That's that. So, that's me on dreams. Let's talk about a thing that actually happened to me. So, one time I was getting ready to leave somewhere, and I couldn't find my keys. I couldn't find them anywhere. My car was parked in the driveway, so I know that I made it home with my keys. So where the fuck could my keys be? I checked my bag, I checked my pants, I checked my other pants, I checked the fucking table, nowhere. It's, what the fuck? Where are my keys? How am I gonna, how? Good thing my dad carries around a spare key to my car. So he hands me that key, and I go to my car because I have to go to work. And I open up the door. The key was in the ignition. My key was just left in the ignition. Ain't that a hoot? Ain't that a hoot and a holler? Ain't that just buck wild and cringe? Buck wild and crazy. Cringe. Very cringe. Oh, I got a fucking heart on my shirt. Oh, my mistake. Oh, it's not funny. That's just embarrassing. Embarrassing. So yeah, that's funny. That's neat. That's all I have to say about that. We're gonna get into the last bit before we end the episode. So here's something I've seen a lot more opinions on that I thought, why not add my own 2 cents? So Rolling Stones put out an article about influential people, and I was hoping that like I would see like people like Curtis and like Drew Gooden and Pyro Cynical, you know, Brittany Broski on there, and I didn't, but I've seen Drew Aflalo, which was wonderful to see, and Caleb Heron. Fucking love them. They're funny. They're really funny, and you know, watching Brittany Broski stuff, they have this sort of aura that follows them wherever they go, and they just light up the room, and they're just wonderful to be around, and their words have so much weight to them. And if I listened to Drew's book, which I paid for with an audible credit, then I would say a lot more about Drew. The only thing I do know her from is the collabs with Brittany Broski, her time on Trixie Mattel, and the Curtis Connor video.
Just want to pop in here with my better quality audio jump scare, because I want to show y'all a silly little video.
Hey, we're gonna give you some fucking dating advice to get a bitch.
Yeah!
Tip number 1, don't be a fucking cuck. Pretty easy, pretty simple.
Tip number 2. Pick them up, pick the girls up and throw them away.
Tip number 3, never kiss a bitch. Always kiss your bros.
Back to the podcast.
And the reason I'm talking about this, which you probably might know, is because Caleb Heron was number 6, and number 7 is Mr. My Name a Beast, Jimmy Breast. Jimmy Breaston-Prant was number 7, and he, like any respectable person, went on the Twitter is like, who the fuck is this Caleb guy? Who the fuck? That guy who has 1 million subs is better than me with 300 million? That cannot be. What the bullshit? This goes all the way to the top. And like, how fucking up your own ass do you have to be upset about that? Do not say, hey, that's awesome, that's incredible. But also, Mr. Beast has went through a lot of controversies. Has Caleb? No. The fact that Caleb got so up high is an achievement. And the fact that like he is smaller than you, Jimmy, that's an achievement. That's wonderful. You should, if you are good-hearted, you would be praising him. Be like, hey, good job. That's wonderful. And hey, you still made top 10, dipshit. You still made top 10. Be thankful. I'm going to defend Mr. Beast for a little bit. His chocolate tastes great. I love it. I love it. The first time I tried Feastables, I fucking was head over heels for it. I fucking was over the moon ecstatic that I was having it. I had the regular milk chocolate, and it was melting a bit because my car has no air conditioning, so it was melting a bit. And it tasted fucking wonderful. It tasted better than Hershey's. It tasted better than a lot of chocolates I usually have. It was awesome. It was wonderful. And people were like, you know, saying that it tasted meh and bad. And I've tried the other ones. The dark chocolate tastes awful. It tastes like dirt. It tastes exactly like those 90% real cacao chocolate bars. It tastes like that shit. And his milk chocolate is great. And I would get more of it if it wasn't overpriced and if it wasn't for the fucking Lunsley scandal. The fact that you're having lead poisoning and mold in a thing marketable for children. And his smile is so fake. There is nothing behind those eyes. He doesn't give a fuck anymore. He doesn't give a fuck. All he cares about, from what I understand, from the way I see him, and sure, I'm not a body language expert. I'm not an expert on anything. He only cares about his status, and he only cares about being one of the richest people alive. Am I saying that he is a terrible person? I don't believe so. He is flawed. He is human. But you are not bigger than God, Jimmy. To discredit Caleb, a smaller creator, for overtaking you in influence That should tell you something about you. To get upset about that. To be so petty about that. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? I don't care if it was like, another guy that I don't know jack shit about. That's someone who isn't as rich as you, doesn't have as much subs as you, or stuff. I don't know who the fuck Drewski, or if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Quentin Blackwell, I don't know who they are, but still, happy for them. I'm happy for them that they are, higher than Jimmy. I'm happy for them that they got in the top 10. That's wonderful. I'm so happy that, they have that influence. That's great. That's fucking wonderful. I Show Speed, predictable that he's number 1. And I'm really glad Miss Rachel is number 3. I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see that. Miss Rachel is wonderful. And if I was a child, I would love to be tuned to her shows, because I feel like she is she's following in Mr. Rogers' footsteps, and I love that so much. And I love that she's an activist for people's right to live, and she's against genocide. I love her so much, and I'm really happy that she is in the top 3. That's wonderful. I just, it's good that, after Backlash, Jimmy's like, I'm sorry. He's a funny guy. I give up. You guys, you're right. I'm an asshole. Hey, man, how about just shut up? If you're going to be a petty bitch, be in silence. Now, I said this before in the first episode. I have a temper like Elvis, where I get hot and heavy, and not in the fun way. I have a really bad temper, and I act with anger first, and then I calm down, and I realize my mistake, and then I try to right my wrongs, and I retract my statements and whatnot. Do that in private. Do that with the people very close to you that aren't going to tell on you. Do that with people who you trust, and people like your wife or girlfriend. I don't know if he's married. His girlfriend, or people who give a fuck about that, who care about your status. Maybe you don't complain to Logan or KSI, your supposed besties in Lunchley, even though their relationship is so fucking fake. It's not. It's crazy. Even in this promotion, he just looks so defeated. He looks like,
God, why the fuck do I have to be here? Oh, I have to stand in front of the camera. Oh, I have to fucking pose. I have to pose for a fucking photographer.
that'll be 200. Yeah, man. It's hard to defend you when you just fucking do shit like that. If, I would have given him a lot of prompts, and I would have been like, hey, it's so cool that he's down to earth. If he led with the fact that, hey, congratulations to the people who are, top 6. That's wonderful. And also, it's neat to see Hassan as number 8. I mean, I can see it. He pulls in a lot of viewers on his thing. On his thing. That's what the kiddies are calling Twitch nowadays. The Thing. I'm gonna go watch The Thing.
Oh,
that's where Speed does his streams. He streams on The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. See it in theaters now. Hassan, his opinions out of context. Whoa. His opinions in context. I see where you're coming from. I can see it now in my head. I can actually understand where you're coming from. I will say this. The way that you make me uninterested in what you have to say is if you clip Hassan out of context. If you say the guy famous for saying that we deserve 9/11. Hey, if you watch the full thing, if you watch the actual clip, the full clip, yeah, the full one. I know your attention span is bad, but if you watch the fucking full one, I get it. It feels like The Godfather.
Oh, fuck, I have to watch a Twitch stream. And I'm explaining himself. Fuck, this
Oh, where's my Subway Surfers? You know, if you just watched the like fucking, I don't know if it's a couple minutes or something of him explaining why he said that. Was it wild to say? Yes, but it deserves explanation. Don't just fucking use it out of context. A lot of iDubbbz for that concept cop he did on Ethan Klein, which was rightfully deserved, because Ethan Klein, holy fucking shit, dude. They were like, oh, he's with Hassan Piker, the guy famous for saying that 9/11 was deserved. I think like next episode I'll talk about that, because I was been having me to talk about it for months, and now that I have a podcast and I can just talk about anything that I fucking want to, I'll do that. I'm not going to make this episode 2 hours long, because also I need sources. I need research. I need my resources. I'm going to end it there for right now. We'll circle back to Hassan, another episode. I don't know if it's going to be the next one, or if I just got to gather my thoughts in a document and make a successful podcast episode. We got one more thing I want to talk about, because I just need to air out some petty things. Things that only concern me and nothing else. There is apparently a reboot of Scarface in the works. To you at home, maybe like, wow, okay, another one? Because the movie that's famous for the name Scarface is a remake of a 1930s movie. Now, the movie with Al Pacino is wonderful. I fucking love it. I have a poster of it that's this. It's cool. I haven't found a place to hang it. Well, I have found it. I just haven't had time, and I keep procrastinating on it. But yeah, it's one of the greatest movies of all time. But the original Scarface was based on a book that was ironic that its author died of similar things, and Austin McConnell made an excellent and wonderful video on the book, and it got me thinking that if I ever get so big that I get to make remakes and have like full control over it, I want to remake that movie by actually adapting the book correctly, because the original 30s movie is propaganda and it goes against the book, and a lot of the great themes of the book aren't explored. And sure, it's still like it's an alright movie, but it could be way better if it actually adapted the book. And the thing is, it was, but it was heavily censored, and there was a lot of reshoots that were mandatory for fucking propaganda and shit to preach to the audience that, hey, it's bad, kind of thing. And that book deserves a proper adaptation, because it's a really good book too. So that's cool. But hearing that there's a Scarface reboot, that petty bitch in me is like, fuck. It was supposed to be me. No. It was supposed to be me. I was gonna to differentiate it from the 80s one, I was gonna have the author's name, like how they have Bram Stoker's Dracula. I was gonna do that. It's just a little thing. It's just a thing that annoys me, that where I am right now, I don't really have choice and stuff like that. I mean, that book's probably gonna become public domain, or it probably is public domain. I'll have to do some checking, but if it is, then fuck. I'm making an adaptation of that book. Holy shit, I am making an adaptation of that book. I wonder if there's a book version of the 80s version. You know how they make, like, novelization for movies? Imagine there is, like, a novelization of the 80s version. You, at home, you can go look that up yourself, because I'm going to do that right now. I don't want to waste much more time of the podcast, because we're already going over an hour. So, to wrap things up, political violence is bad. Political violence is awful. The worst punishment should be imprisonment, and if you have a terrible record, then that's when the death penalty should acquire to you. But also, political violence of all sort deserve to be covered and deserve to be discussed. And gun control. We need massive amounts of gun control and gun regulation. And sure, everyone has the right to bear arms, but still, you shouldn't be able to just walk into a store and buy a gun. Sure, there are extra steps that you have to take, and you have to, acquire a license and whatnot. But it's relatively easy to get a gun in the United States, and that shouldn't be happening, because then we get a lot of killings, especially like school shootings. That shouldn't fucking happen. And I know that like that comes down to the kid knowing that his parent has a gun somewhere and they probably fired it before. Conservatives mock Superman for having a message of treating people with kindness. I think if the world was kinder, Charlie Kirk would have been shot. He would still be alive. And those kids in Colorado would not have been killed. Political violence is terrible, no matter who the victim is. And I think people who are celebrating, that's not the way to do it if you are advocating for gun control. You can't have both in that regard. There are times where you can have both, but in that time, you're just being a hypocrite, and it's not good. I hope nothing but the best for the country, and I hope that we can heal from what the current administration is doing to our nation and to the rest of the world too. I just hope the bad voices of power get stripped of their power, they get humiliated from their abuse of the power, and I hope they live with sorrow and guilt. Even if they never learn empathy, guilt can be served another way. Heavy burdens to all that want harm to anyone of all walks of life, to live with the fact that they want someone's life to be taken. That goes to me. That goes to all of you. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope that was insightful. I hope I communicated my points well. And I hope you all walk away with something, at least new or neat. And I hope you all come back for more. That's all I have to say about that. Wherever you are in the world, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. You've just finished watching Smorgasbord.